All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Aqua that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab and Mwam back at you with another lesson. And real quick, before I take it down, it's about to be 2 o'clock on this side in the morning. I got these 2 videos that I just looked at real quick in Instagram, and this is what it's about. Okay, check this out.
Say this very much. I'm not speaking to anybody but them right now. I would love to receive.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this one first. Hold on, I'm trying to get it. So while this was going on yesterday, all right, or this week, whatever, this is what's really going on behind closed doors, right? All right, so you got, which I don't own the rights to that song. All right, as a matter of fact, I should have muted it. All right, but it is what it is. All right, let me just turn up the lighting on it. All right, so this is a big ass party that went down. Some Project X shit. All right, it says October 31st, 2025, Woodlands Hills, California. Okay, at approximately 10:30 on Halloween night. Okay, so this was what was going on yesterday. But while that's going on, this is what's really going on.
Very much. I'm not speaking to anybody but them right now. I would love to receive calls from governors and mayors saying they need help. We'll help them. We have a lot of people. We have a great force. We have a great military force,
Boom. So I'm going to explain the play. Shut down the government. Now he can declare martial law. That's first. Stop benefits. Cut off certain things and services. Put people online and make them social propagandists to encourage people to go out and riot and steal. Then, when people are hungry and desperate, they will riot and steal, and then they will be you can just tweet. The governor of so-and-so tweeted, "President, we need help." Boom. Okay, we're going to send the military to this state. We're going to send the military to this state. We're going to send the military here. And eventually it's like, well, since so many people have just declared that they need help due to protests and riots, we are going to declare full martial law. That's the play. The stock market crashes. The crypto market crashes. Everything happens, and okay, now we need digital IDs so we can track people. We need a social credit system so that we know what's going on. We need to revitalize the economy, so we're going to stop using the dollar and start using the new American digital dollar. It's in game. It's in game.
You say this, I say this very much.
So, with that being said, all right. And Salaki, I don't know if I opened up. If I didn't, let me just open up one more time. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. Just in case I didn't open up, because I know I'm getting a little tired. So, and it's 144 on this side. Call Haloim La Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So let's grab this precept first. All right. this is, okay, this is what the Lord despises, man. This is 1 second. Amos 5:21. It says, I'll take it from 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh. All right. Hold on, let me just lower the. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him and went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. All right. And it's going to be like that because we are now entering into the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. Which we've been in the beginning stages of it, but it's about to turn up a heavy notch because the Lord always turns up every time you have America celebrating their holidays. All right. And Halloween, all right, which is, in the middle of the winter solstice. All right. So there's heavy witchcraft being played upon the earth right now. All right. Demons is on demon time for real right now. Okay. And I have to kind of be quick because I got 10%. All right. But it says, if shall not the day of the Lord Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it. All right. And, what's going to end up happening is this place is going to end up taking missiles. All right. But this is the point I wanted. It says, I despise your feast days. I will not smell your solemn assemblies. All right. Point is that the Lord hates and despises the feast days that are done here, man. All right. And Halloween is one of the main ones, along with, Christmas and Thanksgiving. All right. Going into, the new year. Okay. The Lord hates those, man. And this is why it's about to be turned up a notch. So it says, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs. You see, the Lord hate these damn songs that that get played out here, man. All right, along with the people that they might have a little a little Halloween party at their house, and they have a little dinner. They out there trying to throw prayers up. The Lord hates that. It says, "For I will not hear the melody of thy vows, but let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream." And that's what's about to come. Let judgment run down as waters, okay, on a heavy, heavy level. All right, let's grab this. This is Jeremiah, all right, 30:4. And it says, and these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. All right. There is no peace that's about to be brought back to America. All right. As a matter of fact, you got people that try to push that vibration of peace. But as the scriptures say, when peace and safety shall be said, all right, then sudden destruction cometh upon this place, man. And you got DT, okay, that's basically trying to push security and peace. All right. And we know that when we hear those words, judgment is going to come right behind it. Okay. So it says, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with a child, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. And what is Jacob's trouble? All right. It is pertaining to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right. Going back to the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Descendants of Jacob. Okay. So, this time that we're about to enter is the trouble for our people. All right. Because the Lord is going to go to the house of Israel first. Okay. Let me grab that real quick. Let judgment be in the house of Israel, KJV. This is First Peter, the King James Version, 4:17, Amos chapter 5, and it says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh?" So, those judgments going to come to those first that know the truth, man. Going to these, these other camps that don't want to really hearken on to the word of the Lord, and they want to prophesy to their own hearts, okay? And they want to continually keep pushing, false doctrine and causing division amongst our people. All right, lying to them, telling them that the RFID is not a physical thing, the MOTB is not a physical thing. All right, that is not an actual RFID, micro C hip. Okay, they'll tell you that it's all these other nonsense. See, those people are leading you to destruction, as the scriptures say. If the blind lead the blind, all right, shall they not both fall into a ditch? Okay, then you got these other groups like IUIC. Here it is. They don't want to tell you the names of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, but they want you to keep calling upon Christ. Okay, making you use that name that we hate to say, but we have to edify with. Going back to Serapis Christos. Okay, going back to Caesar Borgia. Right, those type of people are the ones that are going to catch a horrible judgment. All right, and the Lord going to torture you niggas, every single one of you. All right, pertaining to Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. All right, these people are going to be tortured in great torments. All right, because Esau, that's what's on Esau's mind. All right, now he got that on his mind also for the elect. But see, as the Lord said, that no torment shall touch us. Okay, no evil shall come upon us, those that believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because he has care for his elect, and he's going to protect his elect at the end of the day. Okay, but let's read this one more time for First Peter 4:17. "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai? And if the righteous scarcely shall be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?" See, we're gonna scarcely be saved. That means through the skin of our teeth, barely make it out of this place, man. Okay, so how much more these people that don't want to hearken on to the word of the Lord, man? Okay, great death and destruction is coming to these people. All right, let's grab that real quick. This is 2nd Ezra's. Give me 1 second. 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Hold on, something just came in. It says ICE abruptly detained green card applicant during routine, blah, blah, blah. Okay, nothing. All right, it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Yeah. And this is what you see. It shows by them having these parties right there. That was a big ass party. Have you ever seen that movie, Project X? All right. That was Project X times 10. You see? And this is the spirit that America is in, still trying to make mirth. All right, which those were probably a bunch of Edomites anyway. All right, because only Edomites had parties like that. If that was Jake throwing a party, that shit getting shut down in 2 seconds. All right, but it still just shows the spirit of mirth that's in the land when the mirth of the land is gone. When this place is literally about to shut down. And people still trying to find a way to have fun. They want to drink their night away because of the sorrows that's coming upon this place, man. So they just want to get high, get loaded, get obliviated out of their minds, hoping that, you know, everything's just going to change and they're going to wake up tomorrow and DT done made America great again. Ain't going to be no more greatness coming to this place, man. This place is finished. Okay. As the title says, horrible is the end of this wicked generation. Okay. So continuing on, it says, matter of fact, that was pretty much the point, but I'll continue to read. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth. Yeah, because victuals go into your food sources. All right. But it can also go into necessities that we need. All right. But here it's talking about food. All right. And victuals are going to go, food is going to go a little cheap. It's going to skyrocket at the same time, because with all these SNAP benefits that's being taken away, you know, these stores are not going to be able to make ends meet on their end, you know. But what they're going to do is they're going to try to raise up these prices to make up for that. But because niggas is broke and they ain't going to afford it, they're going to have to bring those prices down also, because the foods that they have to, you know, by a certain date, they have to sell them, you know, expiration dates. So when they get closer to them expiration dates, they're going to have to bring them down and they're going to be found cheap. All right. And they're going to think themselves to be in good case, as the scriptures say right here, that they think victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what these people are living in, great confusion at the end of the day. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Okay. And like you just seen in that video, hey, boy, on point with that. This is all planned, orchestrated for this place to fail, man. And they're going to starve you out. Okay. You got this devil that's got the whole government shut down, which, like he said, they can declare martial law, which he most likely will at one point. All right. You're going to crash the system. Okay. Have everybody in a panic attack, because that's exactly what's going to happen. People going to start purging. Okay. People going to get hangry, you know, and they're going to be coming to, you know, desperate measures, because we are in desperate times. So, you know, as the scriptures tell you in, you know, the last chapter, 2nd Ezra 15, okay, that a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. All right. Because let's just grab it real quick. This is let's just grab it from 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, and you see the sedition among men. You see how these people are standing up against their governments. You see, talking about take this damn devil out of presidency, man. Well, you picked them. So you know, got to deal with it for now. And he has the power to do whatever the hell he wants right now. Okay. So, you know, he ain't gonna get impeached. He ain't gonna be taken out of the way. He's gonna be left right there, because YAHAWAH'S gonna use this devil to usher in World War III, usher in this you know, this Rice Krispie treat, and pretty much, you know, usher the end of this wicked ass generation. Okay. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And we're seeing that with all these flights being canceled, you know, all these lockdowns that are going to come, you know, people not going to be able to move from town to town, you know, from state to state. All right. And you're already seeing it with the shutdowns on these planes, man. All right. They're not allowing you to just leave wherever you want. You know, they got delays, all this, you know, and that's all through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH'S. It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see, because they're going to be hungry. They ain't going to be no food sources out here, because the Lord is taking all these things away from you, man. All the benefits of Egypt, he is taken away from you. Egypt shall fail, like it tells you in Isaiah, the 19th chapter. Okay. And, because just not lack of bread, actual physical bread, I always say through the spirit, because they lack Yahawashi, because Yahawashi is the bread of life. So they're going to lack bread. All right. They're going to lack Yahawashi. So you know what? This is the troubles that come upon you for that, because you didn't want to hearken on to the word. All right. So woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's grab this. This is Ezekiel in the 7th chapter. Oh, Salaki, and I forgot to finish Jeremiah before I get to Ezekiel. Let me finish Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for the day is great, for that day is great, that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And who's going to be the ones that are saved out of it? The 1/3, okay? The men, women, and children that are believers, okay? And the 144,000, okay, that believe, all right, along with the 12, okay, which, they're out there today, okay? So, with that being said, let's go back to Ezekiel 7 and let's grab it from, let's just take it from the top. It says, also thou son of man, this is 2. Also thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahawashi, power unto the land of Israel, the end is come upon the 4 corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. Okay. And this is why you have to walk around with that Tawah upon your head, all right, pertaining to Ezekiel 9:4. Okay. Because the Lord is going to come with great judgment. All right. And if you don't have that Tawah, which is the mark of exemption, all right, you're not going to be able to make it out of here, man. And that ultimately that mark of exemption, all right, is you having Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi written in your forehead. All right. See, here it is that we have the mark of Yahweh, but you also have the mark of Esau. Okay. We want the mark of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Okay, we don't want the mark of Esau. We're not dealing with that because we are not ignorant to Satan's devices. Okay, those that take that MARK for Esau are gonna have to be put into the lake of fire. Okay, and you're gonna die a horrible death out here because you wanted to trust in oppression and trust in Egypt for help, and that was gonna be your shame and your confusion. Okay, pertaining to Isaiah the 30th chapter, 31st chapter. Okay, so. This is 9:4 in Ezekiel. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon their foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay. And we're constantly sighing unto the Lord and crying unto the Lord for the abominations, because we're just like Lot. We're vexed with the filthy conversation of this place, man. You see? So, we're constantly crying out to the Lord continually. All right, to get us up out of here. It says, and to the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Yeah, because the Lord is not a respect of persons, man. See, he has respect and care for the elect, but he don't have a respect of persons for these people out here, man, that don't want to turn to him. So the Lord's going to get gritty out here. All right. He going to literally have men, women, and children, all right, put to death on a high level out this place. You see, it says, and the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have pity. Okay. And the Lord's going to want to hear these people scream. All right. Literally scream, be in agony and terror. Okay. He's going to laugh and mock at your calamity when the time comes, because you hearken not unto the Lord. Pertaining to Proverbs, the 1st chapter. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. Okay, which that mark goes into that Tawah, the mark of exemption. And begin at my sanctuary. Yeah, because he's going to begin at the house of Israel first. Those that knew the truth and didn't want to hearken and wanted to play around with this truth. They that And then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Okay. So let's go back to Ezekiel, the 7th chapter. All right. And 3, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And you could try to hide, you could try to run. All right. The angels have been watching you the whole entire time, because the eyes of the Lord is upon the sinful kingdom. Okay, let's grab this, 2nd Ezra 16. Okay, and grab, kind of jump around real quick. Let's take it from 53. It says, let not the sinner say that I have not sinned, for Yahweh shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which saith before the Lord Yahweh, in his glory I have not sinned. Okay, let's jump down to 62. And the spirit of the almighty power which made all things and searcheth out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. Surely he know your inventions and what you think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin. Therefore the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai exactly searched out all your works, and he will put you all to shame. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your own accusers in that day. What will you do, or how will you hide your sins before the power and his angels? And Yahweh himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall Yahweh lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. You see, and this is why it's important to get this word, man, because the Lord gonna blot out your transgressions, and he gonna keep you from all this trouble. All right. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto you to them shall be held in derision and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see? It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay. And you already see how these devils are starting to be on a low level of being like madmen and sparing none. That's only going to get worse. They're going to get even more filthy out here, man. It's going to literally be the purge out here. It's going to get very purgy. Okay. and what you saw in the purge, if you scared of that movie, all right, well, wait till the Lord really turns up in this place, man. All right, and true death and destruction comes upon this place. All right, wait till the Lord turns up and shows vivid apparitions out here, man. You know, demons out here really chasing your ass. Okay, that what you see in these predictive programming movies, all right, that's low level shit, man. The Lord gonna really turn up in a way that you can. This is why he says it's gonna be a time as never seen before. It's gonna be a time worse than any time of slavery, you know. Any type of horrific shit you can picture in your mind, all right, it's gonna be 144 times worse than that. Okay, something that your mind can't even fathom or even try to think of. Okay, so they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord Yahweh Shai. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And you're seeing that now, man. People getting snatched up out of their own houses. People going to your children's school and snatching your children out of their schools, man. And you don't get to see them anymore. You know, the Lord putting teeth of wild beast upon you for you, not hearkening on to the word, right? And as it tells you in Leviticus, that he gonna chastise you 7 times more for your sins, man. And you have, animals out here taking and robbing your children, eating them alive, man. All right. It's going to be a lot of mayhem out here, a lot of death. Okay. On a very high scale. Okay. It says, hear ye, Salakia. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord Yahawashi, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift themselves up. Okay. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. Okay. Let's go back to um, Ezekiel 7, and I'll pretty much close it out with that. All right. So going back to 5, okay, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, an evil and only evil, behold, is come. Okay. NOT says, this is what the sovereign Lord Yahweh says, disaster after disaster is coming your way. Okay. And that's what you see. It's always one disaster after another. There's one thing happening, and then when that shit is over with and they stop talking about it, here comes something new. Okay. And that's all the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It says, the morning is come unto thee, O that dwellest in the land, the time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. All right. And this is why you need to get out the spirit of mirth, man. All right. Just like we just seen in that video, these people still celebrating life like it's like it ain't nothing happening, man. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Okay. Ezekiel 7:7, it says, 6, it says, an end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. All right. What did Tupac say? I see death around the corner. All right. And that's what's coming right around the corner. A whole lot of death. Okay. It says, the morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land, the time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense thee for all thine abominations. And mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways and thine abominations that are in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh that smiteth. That's right, because the Lord is what kills and the Lord is what makes alive. All right. So all that deads all that shit. Oh, the Lord is about peace, and he's not gonna do something like that. You wild. All right. For you to even think like that is diabolical, because the Lord kills and makes alive, man. The Lord is coming with true judgment, because those don't want to hearken on, because these people don't want to hearken on to the word of the Lord, man. All right. It says, behold the day, behold the day, behold it is come, the morning is gone forth, the rod has blossomed, pride has budded. All right. And that's why, according to 2nd Ezra 8:50, all right, great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time walked in great pride. Okay. Pride has budded at an all-time high right now, man. Violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, Salakia, excuse me, nor of any of theirs, neither shall there be wailing for them. All right. And see all this laughing and mirth. Okay. There's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay. You laugh now, but there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth later. Okay. It says, for the seller shall not return to that which is sold. Yeah, because everything's going to be shut down out here. Although they were yet alive, For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof. Exactly. And the vision is being brought out by who? The prophets. All right. But when there is no vision, the people perish. All right. And that vision is about to be taken away from you, because as it tells you in Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, all right, that there shall be famine of the word. Okay. Let's just grab that real quick. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. And it says, I mean, Salakia, not 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes 11. Salakia, I just confused myself real quick. Amos, that's what I wanted. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it. And in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Okay, they're gonna be wanting answers. Okay, but it's gonna be too late for you, man. You see, that's why the scriptures say, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found." Okay, Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7, it says, "What? Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. Put not off from day to day, for sudden destruction shall come upon you." Okay, so going back to Ezekiel, let's grab that 7 and 14. It says, Salakia, 13, for the seller shall not return to that which is sold all day, although they were yet alive. For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. They have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle. And that's what we're doing, ringing his alarm, all right, giving you warning after warning after warning, blowing that trumpet, okay, where, as it tells you in Isaiah 58, cry aloud and spare none, all right, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, let Israel, all right, know their sins. And that's what we're doing, okay. It says, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. And it's going to be better for you to die with the sword, right, than to die of famine. Because when that time comes of famine, you're going to eat your children in the siege secretly. You're just going to be eating humans, period, because there ain't going to be nothing to eat. All right, but we ain't gonna worry about that, because the Lord said, my servants shall eat, all right, and they shall be hungry. My servants shall drink, and they shall be thirsty. You see, because we have trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so it's gonna be better for you to die by the sword than to die of famine. Okay, and what did it say? The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children, boiled up their own children, and that was the meat in the destruction. Okay, so it's going to be a whole lot of famine out here, man. All right. It says, but they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquities. Okay. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. Okay. And hey, we're going to escape through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, away from all these things, being as pilgrims upon the earth, and when that time really comes, we're going to be, put on them chariots, man. Okay. That's what we hope that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai does and has mercy upon us for, man, for us to be able to be saved by the chariots. Okay. It says, they shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in street. It's like their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. And that's what's going to happen, man. When that dollar falls, these people are going to throw their riches in the street, their money in the street. Why? Because riches profit not in the day of wrath. Okay. The only riches that you're supposed to have is the true riches, faith, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's why the Lord said, I know thy poverty, but thou art rich, because we are what? Rich in faith. Okay. It says, their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block upon their iniquity. All right. It says, as for beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty, but they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them, and I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. Make a chain for the land that is full of bloody crimes, and the city that is full of violence. All right. And that's what's going to eventually happen, man. Esau going to have to go into captivity along with these other nations, man. But you're going to also have these people out here, 2/3 that's going to be cut off and die. And, you know, a lot of them going to be put into prisons and FEMA camps and things like that, you know, going to, you know, for a testament of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, testimony, man. Because what his word was, it was faithful and true. All right. And they thought, you know, it was a joke. So therefore, all unfaithful are going to die in their unfaithfulness. All right. It says, wherefore I will bring the worst out of the heathen. Okay. And that's what you're going to see, how ruthless Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to use these heathens to punish you 2/3 that didn't want to hearken. Okay. And they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease. Okay. Going into the prideful, their pride, and their holy places shall be defiled. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none, you know, because you ain't never going to have peace on this earth, man. You ain't going to have peace till Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai take this damn devil out the way. All right. And most of all, a lot of these people going to be seeking for death. All right. But death is going to flee from them, as the scriptures say. Okay. Mischief shall come upon mischief, rumor upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and the counsel from the ancients. And this is why you need to have this word while the vision is still there, being made plain upon the tables. Okay, because once that vision is gone, the people perish. Okay. The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, hey, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom and good night.